Dr. Norbert Chapek is one of those great UU saints who was renowned for his ability to pray and to preach. He was an incredible orator. He grew up in the Bohemia area of Western Czechia, predominantly Roman Catholic area. And he was a very religiously oriented youngster, but he left the church as a young man because of the cynicism and the poor attitude of the local parish priest towards the people he was entrusted to care for. Young Norbert became a Baptist convert, and he fell into that spirit centered existence that really spoke to him. The idea of working not just with your rational mind, but with something bigger, greater that calls you on. And he loved that existence outside of just reliance on ritual and repetition and routine. This experience of what was then called free Christianity or non creedal Christianity, which is a direct descendant, of which we are a direct descendant, the non creedal tradition. He saw that as enticing and natural and native to the Bohemian people and to the Czech people. Told in the story for all ages that the Czech people didn't always have a good relationship with the Roman Catholic Church, especially the people in Bohemia. So when it came time to have Christian church services that Dr. Chapek was responsible for, he had spent some time in America and then came home in 1921. And he looked around and he saw that his people were not really feeling the whole communion thing. They'd had a bad experience. So he didn't want bread and wine to be roadblocks, to be obstacles for his people. They were not life giving, they were not nourishing for his people. They had been traumatized by the old stories, by the old rituals, by the old routines. And they needed a new story. So Reverend Chapek decided we need a new story. Let's make one. Just as new life blooms in a garden, if you plant and grow and take care and water these seeds, we can create something new. So much like Jim's reflection mentioned the desert and the desert flowers, I like to imagine that Dr. Chapek looked out of his office window at the beautiful Czech Republic countryside and saw all the wild flowers and recognized that it was a kind of desert too, maybe a spiritual desert, that people were not resonating with spirit at all. And so he took the natural beauty of the land and poured a sense of bohemian pride into that desert. He put spirit and love in and waited to see what would bloom. And now we have this wonderful tradition of the flower communion. When I look out my window, I see a desert too. And I'm familiar with desert. Where I'm from is dry and dusty, and the only water is hidden far underneath the ground. When I look at the desert of now, I look at my calendar, and day after day seems like there's no end to this. It's like I'd imagine when you're stranded in the Sahara, perhaps, and you just look and you can't see anything but sand in all directions. I'm feeling that way, kind of spiritually. Right? We've had some end dates for when this quarantine might lift, but we don't know. We've seen some effective treatments for the virus, but we don't know. We've seen that it affects some people more than others, but we don't know. There's a lot of not knowing. We don't know which way to go, right? We're looking around, looking for the exit to get out of this Groundhog Day scenario, this nothingness, this no beginning and no end desert. And for so long, we've relied on the old patterns, the old ritual, the old ways of doing things. You know, we could count on our calendar and our clocks and the way the society was working, running. And the old rituals and routines were not working for all of us. have never been working for all of us. So the question for us in this desert is, how might we be like Norbert Chapek? And what new rituals might we create? What is our flower communion to be made in this time? What is native to our people? Was the phrase he used. What is native to our people? What speaks to each one of us individually and to all of us collectively? You might call it natural religion. They called it free Christianity back then. For me, it's the UU promise, right? It's the UU dream of being a religion that speaks to one and many, speaks one language but many dialects, that offers something to each of us and holds us collectively, helps us to worship the God of our own understanding, to find depth and meaning, to live a more fully human life. So, how might we create new words, new rituals to help move us from the arid desert to the blooming in that wonderful photo Jim shared with us? Blooming desert flowers, built on resilience and reliance on one another. To move from being reliant on the old rituals and the old patterns that did not serve all of us to something that is new and life giving, to something that we resonate with as a people. My new pattern in this time has been running. I've been running with KP almost every day, and we've also been doing yoga together. And if you've known me for more than a little bit, you know that one of my common refrains is that I suck at yoga. But being able to do it together and in conjunction with running, it's become a new ritual, a new pattern for us, for me. And it started to resonate with me. The bad associations and the pain and the heebie jeebies I had from it before, they started to melt away. I'm starting to enjoy it. And so the other day when I went for a run in the rain, in my white skin, with my male 6'3", 215-pound body, I was running and recognizing all of the freedom and the privilege of my body and of my social location, of America, of this place. And it's something I've been conscious of for a while, but I'm always more conscious of it when my friends and my people, our people, are hurting, are suffering trauma, being re-traumatized. I'm so grateful to be able to continue the ritual of the Black Lives Matter vigil that we hold on Thursdays, and to hear poetry and to listen to Karen Smith drumming, to be socially distant but connected, to be a symbol of community on our church lawn, to find small moments of grace and life in this desert, to mourn all of those flowers that have been cut too soon. So I've been thinking a lot about Ahmaud Arbery, Sean Reed, the people who are in my family, in our family, not just our wide human families, but our intimate families. May we hold them up. May we say their name. May they not be forgotten. May we celebrate their work. And may we work to honor their memory and to make the world a more beautiful place. I'll be sharing a list, especially for white folks, of things that we can do, those of us who are white, to help bend the moral arc of the universe towards justice. Because the desert seems big, and it seems endless and it seems vast. But if you look close enough and if you work hard enough, if you dig deep enough, places like where I'm from, you can find water. You find a life giving source. You find new flowers, new traditions, new communions being born. It's my ask of us, especially this week, but always, that we take our eighth principle seriously and that we work however we can, whenever we can, to dismantle oppressive systems in ourselves first and in our institutions, to make the world a more beautiful place, to make flowers bloom in the desert. Until then, we proclaim that Black Lives Matter. We say the names of Sean Reed, Ahmaud Arbery, and we proclaim that great mystery of faith that in deserts, in gardens, in oppressive systems, in white supremacist nations, they tried to bury us in the desert. They did not know that we were seeds. May we nourish and water those seeds till they bloom and grow. May it be so. Amen.